when what happened takes over, or narrative mode, start from the beginning. Someone walks through the front door looking upset. A parent asks what happened. A police officer arrives after an accident. A doctor asks about new symptoms. A manager hears that a project has gone wrong. In each case, the first response is often the same. Start from the beginning. It is such an ordinary sentence that we rarely stop to consider what it is asking for. Not a conclusion, not an opinion, not a solution, a sequence. Most people instinctively know how to answer. First, then, after that, that's when. The conversation begins arranging events in order. That order matters. Imagine someone beginning an accident report by saying, "The brakes failed because the hydraulic pressure dropped." That may eventually become part of the explanation, but it is probably not where the conversation begins. The natural question is simpler. What happened? Before anyone can explain the event, they often want to reconstruct it. The story comes before the theory. This happens in places where no one would describe themselves as telling stories. Doctors ask patients to describe when the pain began. Police officers ask witnesses to walk through the sequence. Engineers reconstruct failures one event at a time. Parents ask children to explain how the argument started. The objective is remarkably consistent. The conversation is trying to preserve the order in which the reality unfolded. This is different from the conversations we've already explored. Pragmatic mode asks, "What do we do?" Analytic mode asks, "Why did it happen?" Narrative mode asks something else. What happened? A participant organizing around sequence is not necessarily resisting action, nor are they avoiding explanation. They are solving a different problem. Many events only become understandable when their order is preserved. Context depends on sequence. Timing depends on sequence. Escalation depends on sequence. Sometimes changing the order changes the meaning entirely. Imagine reading the final chapter of a mystery novel first. The facts would remain the same, the understanding would not. Sequence carries information. This is why narrative mode appears in so many different settings, not because people enjoy stories, because chronology itself helps organize understanding. Like every mode we've examined so far, this organization can meet resistance. One participant begins, "Let me tell you what happened." Another interrupts, "Can we skip to what we need to do?" A third asks, "No, why did it happen?" None of these participants are necessarily disagreeing. Each is attempting to organize the conversation around a different objective. One is preserving sequence, one is seeking movement, one is searching for mechanism. The resulting friction often feels personal. It may instead reflect different organizational priorities. Once you begin noticing narrative mode, it appears almost everywhere. A friend recalling a vacation, a veteran describing a deployment, a company reviewing a failed product launch, a grandparent telling family history, a witness giving testimony. The settings change, the organizing objective remains recognizable. The 9 modes framework refers to this recurring organization as narrative mode. Its guiding question is simple. What's the story here? The word story can be misleading. Narrative mode is not primarily about entertainment, nor is it about being a gifted storyteller. It is about organizing understanding through sequence. It asks the conversation to remain faithful to how events unfolded before deciding what those events mean. Like the other 9 modes, it is not a personality type. The same person may organize one conversation pragmatically, another analytically, and another narratively. The mode describes the organization being pursued, not the identity of the participant. 3 recurring organizations now stand before us. One asks, what works? Another asks, why does it work? A third asks, what happened? None of these questions are interchangeable. Each solves a different problem. Each pulls a conversation toward a different kind of organization. By now, a larger question has probably begun to emerge. We've spent several articles recognizing these recurring forms, but what exactly do we mean by a mode? Before looking at the remaining organizations, that question deserves an answer. The Mercer Journal is an independent, reader-supported platform. You can back our work at ko-fi.com/WE Mercer. That's ko-fi.com/WEMERCER. And thanks for listening.